So, welcome to the last video of the 2024 online qualification round 1 for the MECC Microsoft Excel Collegiate Challenge. So, I've also made two other videos on the two other cases in this round because this round was a three-case round, but this will only be about the last case, and the last case is called Kickoff. So, it's a little bit of an map and orientation case. I had in the live attempt two problems with this case. First problem was the error code is different than in all the other cases. Because as you see here, potentially with Road to Las Vegas Doggy Daycare, normally the error code is the number and then the error. But in this case, it was the error and then the number. It wasn't a problem. You can easily switch this with a simple function. But at first, I was a little bit surprised. Let's call it that way. And then I had also a problem because my error lambdas broke. So I have in my lambda collection a few things about errors because I know that in the MECC it's a beloved thing to use errors. I think Professor David Brown used them quite often. And here you see also they're used here in this qualification round. So yeah, that threw me off a little bit, but wasn't so big of a problem. And also what wasn't that beautiful, I used a lot of data tables in this case, but this wasn't a problem because the plays weren't that large, so yeah, I didn't score that bad. So let's jump right in. Nothing too much about the instructions, and also beautiful that the possible movements are provided here. This isn't normal, so I have also my arrows here in multiple extents here to have it right there, but it's cool when they are provided because here it isn't that much of a thing to make a two row and a unique function and so on, and therefore it's a little bit more beautiful if they are provided. And also like with the case from Nick Boberg, deep sea diving, they were provided a separate map where you don't have the symbols and the letters instead. That was also quite nice. I think sometimes those little things we can go away from because most competitors can do this in seconds. So yeah. So level 1. What is the number of plays that move only leftward minus the number of plays that move only rightward? So I used here, I think, a columns and a filter function. Filter here those errors if those errors are leftward movement minus. Then I copied the function and selected here rightward movement. 2. Why isn't this? References. Now you can select this here and drag this down. Here we have an error, and we have this error because there are potentially somewhere where we don't have one of those movements, and we then calculate the filter function will spell out an error. Yeah, but now everything's solved so far. 20 points out of 40 points out of 2000. Yeah. Total amount of movement across all plays. And now you need to pay attention because these will only ask for the numbers. So if you go diagonally, this will count as one and not as two movements. I first counted this as two movements with my fancy lambdas, but I then saw here, oh, only the numbers. So it's a simple right function. You have your spill array, you need to make this as a number, sum this up, and you get your result. Super easy and no problem because here as every time, and I don't know They could potentially do this also with larger numbers. Your number is only a single digit number and nothing like 80 or something, because then you would have errors here or only count a 0 here instead of 80. So yeah. Level 2 solved. Side to side movement includes left, right, and diagonally. For each play, arrows indicate the direction of movement. Number indicates the self movement. Here, that's okay. Count the net movement. So you need to count the diagonal movement and the horizontal movement. So I will do this first for the arrow. First example here. Now I use my lambdas. Horizontal left-right movement. Now I've also made my arrows, my arrow lambdas, that they can detect the different arrow codes and select them. So if there is either like this 8 and then this arrow or the other way around, my lambda will detect them. So then I can sum this up. And also, it's not what I thought. Is this right? Ah, okay, yeah, sorry. I didn't react properly. So this is the net side-to-side movement with my done with my lambda. Nets and things. It's an ABS here. You need, yeah. So you can't move negatively. So everything's solved in level 3. So you can only, if you want to solve this like manually, you could do something like, no, I will use my list. You have your list, and then you have your left-right movement, and then you can assign to those. So here, left function, do here an xlookup for the arrow in here, and select here the left-right movement amount, and multiply this with right here. Not too far. That's a problem if you go directly to the cell here, and then you can also sum this up, and you get also your result. So this will also work in the like manual approach, but you saw with lambdas you are faster. C field, sorry, you cannot get out of bounds. So I have a lambda for arrows and no cellref on it's called cellref based on reference and error array, and you have your answer. You can track this down with lambdas, as I said before, super easy. But what you can also do here is like do this separately. So row of indirect of this here will give you the row, then column of indirect will give you the column. So you have here row and column values. Then you can have your lambda list here or your arrow list. You can also make this manually. So your up, down, left, right movement. You will need to make this manually if you don't have it prepared. And then you can search here for left, no, xlookup left of this in here, return this here, so this will spill, multiply this with right, and then you need to calculate this minus this and this plus this, and then make your address out of it, and you would have the same result. If you then make this non-dynamic, you can also drag this down. AQ3, oh, this is wrong. If you select the right cells, you will have a result here. Also here, normally this should be absolute, not absolute, relative, and you can now also drag this down, and this will lead to the same result. So here BM11 and so on. Yeah, super easy so far. Level 4 solved. Now this will get a little bit more tricky, because you now need to pay attention for the bounds of this field here. So you can only be in this area here with those error codes here, and yeah, will get a little bit more messy. So I think for this level I started using data tables. Yeah, I think so. But you can also make this into a single let function and use it then. So I will try first this approach, and later on I will do the data tables, I think. So on here, column number, CN, column number, row number. You can also use here indirect and row, but I have also a lambda for this, in case I didn't remember it. And then you can here use here right. And also, like, I think I need to do this into a single row. Never mind, I will do this with data tables from the start on. I first thought I use here the lambdify lambda, but I think I will do this with data tables from the start. So example 5, then an xlookup, but here xlookup to get there the values, the input values. It's a mess to get here the input values. Now get here also the headers to make it a little bit more beautiful. And then I also like to have here the answers provided to have a little bit of help. And normally I have here a pre-prepared macro for this kind of cases, but yeah, in this case this macro would have worked. I will potentially show you this with the next level. So row number, column number, and then ARN number, right of this. You can also make this a number right now, but I think I would have later calculated with this. Then not full now, doesn't matter. Here and then up, down, and left, right. So vertical and horizontal. xlookup for left here, left here, inside here return this, and then also drag this down Drag this to the side, and you have here your left-right movement. You can now also multiply this with this from the start on. And now I will write the potential row and the potential column. Why potential? Because we have borders. So here row number plus, no, minus up down, because my up down movement is like the other way around. I know I started with it, but yeah, I should have done this differently. And here plus left right movement. And then we have our problems because corrected row and corrected column. Because we have here borders, and now there with the 5 I will be out of borders because my borders are column 5, column 64, row 9 and row 27. So row 9 and 27. So I use here the min function because I would either have this value here, so my potential value, or min want to have my potential value or the value 27, because 27 is my border at the bottom here. Or also I need here a MECC function. I would either have this value here or 8, because 8 is my border from above. So my border here with the rows. And then I need to have the same for the columns, but now with different values. So my values are 5 and 64. Minimum should be here, 5 should be here. And then I can do an address here. So my address would be row number 8, column number 41, relative. And you see here AO8, like provided here. I now want to have my here my row number. I can track this from here, and here my column number from here. Can track this to the side. Then need to track those formulas also to the side. This is off because can now track this APA, AP8, AP8, AS8, BB17 should be everything. BB17 is the answer we search for. I will now bring the game numbers in. This is my answer cell. Now make a data table out of it. Data, what if analysis data table. Column input cell is given here. And because I have here my XLOOKUP, this will automatically update then the input. Sometimes there is partial calculation on. So if I do automatic here, I can now use here the answers and copy them into the case. If I select the right cell. Yeah. So far so good. Now this is only like level 5 but larger. So I think it took me like a minute or so to make level 6, because you only need to update here this XLOOKUP. This is right, but I need to select here the new levels and also the new answers. And then yeah, I don't think I will use this here. Now I have a problem because this need to go down. Okay, now I broke something. Yeah. Isn't this fixed? Okay, now I need to track this down here. So I could also use tier named ranges, for example. And also here. Yeah. I should have paid attention to this, but you can fix everything later on. And now I only need to track this to the site. And I hear AA18. Is this right? Kickoff case. A4. A4. AV9. Okay, this isn't right. The question is why. Okay. So yeah, I will select this separately. Also here we have a few NAs. Okay. Also here, yeah. If you do this beautifully, then you would have noticed errors. AV9 is the answer we search for. I can now use here those numbers, put them here. Also select the new answer row. Now the data table automatically updated. Put those values in here. And we have our result. Now, level 7. I will use here the data table from here. And now, level 7. Here, example 7, you will see here I will have an error because I need to select this here again. Now everything is as it should be. I don't think we have here any errors because here, now we need to look what we should do here. First touchdown, and the first touchdown is in the end zone. Okay, so for here, example 7, let's copy this in here. So we need to search if the column is larger than 9 or larger than 60. Equals column larger than, what have I said? Smaller than 9 or larger than 60. Okay. Corrected column larger than 60 or smaller than 9. You can also use here, I think I will do this, the OR function. Drag this aside. Here we have our first true value. In the end zone, it's answer 6. Yeah. So copy this to the side, and then we will do an X match here, X match for true inside here, and this will give me the number where the first touchdown occurs. I can now copy the numbers here in for the separate games. We'll have an answer for everything. Also, I looked for this, but this wasn't a problem here. So every time a touchdown occurs, also so sometimes on the last potential or last case, but every time, so we don't have to pay here attention to error correcting. Copy them in, and we have done all the levels. Now we need to do the bonus questions. What is the number of plays that move only leftwards minus the number of plays that move only rightwards across all plays in here? So I think I used here on this function here, copied it in here, and then used here the two-row function for those games here to have everything in a single row. So here, here, and here, yeah, equals. And then my answer was -7. Merge cells. I hate them. -7. Which number appears most often across all the plays in level 2, excluding the example? So ugly, I know, but so used here right, and then I think my most of lambda. Yeah, so 8 appears most, but what you can also do here with the new group by function. Group by, use this as row fields, use this as values, and then count, but you need to count A because these aren't numbers. Okay, no, I didn't want that. Let's try to call to make everything a column. To call, yeah, this will work. 500 numbers. 8 is here 70, and then you can do here like deselect the totals, wrap here around a sort function, and also like descending, and you get also to your answer 8. 8 is the answer. What is the sum of all starting row numbers from 4? There I have here my starting rows, and I could easily sum this up. So 3, 7, 4. How many cells on the football field are in the end zone? So this is quite easy. You could use here like the replace by format here, but you can also so here you 20 rows times 5 columns, so 100 cells, and here also the same size, so 100 cells. So we have here what you also could do here is like 1 and then Control Shift Enter, and also here select this area, not too much, and then 1 Control Shift Enter, and then select here the area, and then sum 200, so you have 200 cells here. Also a way to do this. On how many plays on level 6 and 7 is movement limited by out of bounds? And you need to pay attention. I don't know what game is this. Football rules. So a game doesn't end if a touchdown is made. For a football newbie, this was important to know. So it wasn't mentioned in the instructions, but here. So I will copy my data table from the levels before, B5 underscore L6. Or was this 6? Yeah. And then also create a copy, yes to all, B5 underscore L7. And then instead of using here here using a search here if the address, when I make this without the corrected address here, would be the relative would be the same as this answer here. Then make this not. So reverse this. This is false. Now I can track this here to the side. And here, for example, we are limited by out of bound orders because of the row. And we can then, I think count. No, I think sum minus minus is the way to go. Sum minus minus, because minus minus makes true values and false values to numbers. Then I can sum this up. So for this game, we are limited by 3 times by out of bound order. And here, I don't know what the problem is here. Let's type this in. 102 view. Oh, because we so if we have a value error, we also are limited. If error also true, so now everything solved. We can sum this up here. 158. Also, we need to do this for this level here, but we can copy the formula here. Yeah, copy this formula to the side. Then use here a sum minus minus formula. Close the bracket. We have also here how often we are limited by borders, and then 197. And then I jump right in here, equals this number plus this number, 355, everything solved. I've also inputted here my answers. Oh, there are errors. My answers from the live run, 62, 65, also here. Okay, there shouldn't be any errors, but I will go after this. So because my live run answers seem to be right. Okay, this is like level. This is level 4. This can't be the case. 62. Why is here something wrong? 62 is wrong. Okay. Is this go down 6? Yeah. Is it? Okay, so do I have errors in my live attempt? I need to check this. Okay, yeah, I didn't read the instructions here properly. So here in my live attempt, I went through this and I thought about this. And because also in level 4 you cannot get out of borders, and you therefore need to pay attention to the borders here. I didn't pay attention in this attempt here, so I need to correct here a little bit. Plus shift is right, and then I need to correct here also the rows and the columns. With the formula I used in level 5. So here the rows, sorry for my confusion. Here is the rows. I can track this down. and the columns are here. Here columns. Then I will build my address based on those corrected values here. Copy them in here. Now we don't have any errors in this game here, but still errors on the last level. 15. 123 and 129. This is level 7. 123. Touchdown. When is a touchdown made? Okay. So here, larger or equal. Also, I like a baby mistake. Larger or equal. So larger or equal to 60 or larger than 59, and also larger or equal than smaller than 10, I guess. Yeah. So here you're also in the area here when you are here and not when you step from here to here. Sorry for that. And now all the answers are right. Sorry for my confusion and my few errors. I think I did in the live attempt better than in this like calm environment here. So no problem. Sorry. Yeah, this was the online qualification round. I think it was a cool mix of cases. I hope for a good round 2. And yeah, also interested in the results. I think a lot of guys did quite well and under the time. I also did under the 2 hour barrier, but no time bonuses this time. But yeah, also interested what the other guys did. So thank you for your attention. Let's stay tuned. I hope I'm able to do also a video on the second round. And then I hope to see you all in Vegas. Thank you. Bye.